Man, what is really going on in the WNBA? Another coach has lost their job and is out as head coach. Now, the block is hot in the WNBA. There's 7 head coaching vacancies. The latest is Stephanie White from the Connecticut Sun. But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Man, what is really going on in the WNBA? Now there is 7 head coaching vacancies. Now Stephanie White and the Connecticut Suns have agreed to part ways. Now she is out as head coach after 2 years. Now, you know, when Stephanie White took over the job in 2023, she was the Associated Press Coach of the Year. And then this year, she pulled off a stellar record of 28-12. She was third in the WNBA. She got her team to the playoffs. They swept the Indiana Fever in the first round, moved on to the semifinals where they got ousted by the Minnesota Lynx, where the Minnesota Lynx went on to the WNBA finals and faced the New York Liberty, and the Minnesota Lynx came up short, and the New York Liberty posted their first championship in 28 years. Now, all these coaches that have been fired or let go in the WNBA, and there's 7 head coaching vacancies, now it's being reported that Stephanie White is the front runner to become the Indiana Fever's new head coach after yesterday's breaking news when the Indiana Fever let Christy Sides go after Christy Sides came off of a stellar season. She went 20-20, got the Indiana Fever into the playoffs since 2016. She turned that team around in the second half of the season, starting off 1-8, and she just turned it around, and she got the Indiana Fever into the 6th seed. Now, they went into the playoffs, and they got swept by a potential new candidate for the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White and the Connecticut Sun, in the first round. So now it's being reported that Stephanie White is the front runner to become Indiana Fever's new head coach. Now, Indiana Fever are under new management, and they want to go in a different direction. And, Christy Sides took the high road out with her tweet talking about leave it better than what you found. And I think that's what she did. A lot of people was not high on Christy Sides because they had a player as such as Caitlin Clark, and they expected more. But, sometimes, your star players got to take accountability for what they was lacking. Caitlin Clark with her high turnovers, her dismal shooting to start off the season. But in the second half of the season, she picked it up, and that was part of the turnaround, which that goes as long as saying the coaching helped out in that situation too, because she put Caitlin Clark in better situations to be effective. Now that Connecticut Suns and Stephanie White have agreed to part ways mutually, now she is the standout and front runner to be the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. But there's also reports out there that the Chicago Sky's general manager, Jeff P., he has interviewed the likes of Kurt Miller, the ex-Los Angeles Sparks coach, which I don't think would be a good candidate for the Chicago Sky because one of the Chicago Sky's, predominant player is Kennedy Carter. Now, we all know the run-in that Kurt Miller and Kennedy Carter had is well documented. In order for that to work, they would have to have a sit-down if Kennedy Carter would come back to the Chicago Skies, and they have to hash some things out. And I just don't think in this situation that it's going to work out that way. So my take on that is also there's rumors out there that Jeff P. is interested in hiring Stephanie White as the new head coach too. Now they're rumors, but the rumor mill is buzzing right now. So we don't know what is true and we don't know what is not true. But Stephanie White would be a great candidate for the Chicago Sky. And I think, Stephanie White, she's already praised Angel Reese about her hustle and her tenacity and her rebounding and her defense. And you build around that. And I think Stephanie White would be a great candidate for the Chicago Sky. But like I said, it's already been reported. It's out there that Stephanie White is the front runner for that Indiana Fever job. But I just don't know what's going on in the WNBA with these coaches losing their jobs. Like I said, it's a coaching carousel. When I say coaching carousel, that means all the coaches that got fired or let go for, mutual reasons, and both sides decided that, it was time to make a change. I think all these coaches that lost their job will have some type of coach in job next year. Either it's a head coaching job or they will be on somebody's coaching staff. Now, when it was reported on ESPN, it was breaking news that Stephanie White and Connecticut Suns had parted ways. So let's take a listen to what Shanae Abumakwe said on the breaking news.
Some breaking news in the WNBA. The Connecticut Sun and Stephanie White have agreed to part ways. The organization announces White set the franchise record for wins in her first season with the team in 2023 and then broke that record again in 2024. And that is in addition to Christy Sides, who is out as the Indiana Fever head coach after 2 seasons. Christy led rookie standout Caitlin Clark in the Fever to a 2020 record this year, but Indiana's playoff run ended quickly with a sweep by the Connecticut Sun. And I loved her tweet, leave it better than where you found it. Despite the rocky start, she did exactly that, bringing the Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Now, the Fever and the Sun now make 7 teams looking to reset as they search for a new head coach. Y'all, the block is high. Dallas Wings, Chicago Sky, Los Angeles Sparks, Atlanta Dream, Washington Mystics all have head coaching vacancies.
Now, you heard what Shanae Abumakwe said, man. She said the block is hot, and I totally agree with her. She took some of my words. I totally agree with her when she said the WNBA, man, the block is hot, man, and things are starting to heat up, man. And a lot of people, would like to see, Stephanie White as a Chicago Sky head coach. I think that would be a great fit for Stephanie White. I don't know what, they talked about in that organization with Stephanie White and the Connecticut Suns hierarchies. I don't know why they agreed to part ways, but in this situation, it was a mutual agreement. So Stephanie White, she probably wanted out herself, and I don't know the reason why. But like I said, there's more head coaching jobs out there that might be appealing to her. And I think she's ready for the challenge. I think she wants to take on the challenge and, let people know that she can rebuild a team, man. And I think my potential candidacy for her would be the Chicago Sky. I think she could turn the Chicago Sky organization around. But if it's the likes of her going to Indiana Fever, she would be a great fit for the Indiana Fever as well. But there's also rumors on the wall that, Lisa Bluter, Caitlin Clark's old Iowa head coach, potential candidate for the Indiana Fever. So there's a lot of potential candidates out there, but we don't have no household name that has came out that would come out of retirement or come out of the woodworks and take on these head coaching jobs. That's why I feel that all the coaches that have lost their jobs will have a job next season, because it's going to be, like I said, I'm going to keep reiterating this. It's going to be a coaching carousel. And I think that, these coaches are just going to be in different places or be on somebody's coaching staff. And like I said, man, I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, man. Out of all the candidates that are out there, I would love to see, Stephanie White, in Chicago. I think she can do some wonderful things because, Stephanie White has already gave kudos to Angel Reese on her tenacity, about her high motor, her rebounding, and her defense. Now, you can build around that. Also, you won't have no disgruntled players. I think everybody would buy into the system. And I think that would be a, well-oiled machine out there in Chicago. Get the people that had injuries healthy. Elizabeth Williams, get her back on track. Angel Reese, get her back on track from the wrist surgery. And, let's rock out. Whatever things is going on with Kennedy Carter, let's iron them things out. And let's put forth, man, and let's give, Chicago something to cheer about, man, because we was cheering hard last year until injuries happened and we, got bumped out the playoff race. But that's either here nor there, man. So y'all guys let me know what y'all think about, Connecticut Suns letting Stephanie White go. They agreed to part ways. It was mutual. And where you think Stephanie White could end up at. So you guys let me know down in the comment section. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscription button. Turn on your post notifications so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.